welcome to each one of you for today's study circle meet on topic GST on export and deemed export. I'm very sorry, I have a very bad signal here. I came for voting to my native, hence I'm not able to switch on the video. Meanwhile, before we start on the session, I would like to welcome our today's speaker, CA Bhimal Jain sir from Delhi, who is a chartered accountant and also an advocate with more than 20 years of experience. Hearty welcome to Bhimal Jain sir.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you very much.
Members, before we proceed for introduction of our speaker, I would like to inform you all that today's virtual study circle meet is the last virtual study circle meet. Further, we will not be having any virtual sessions because of latest circular from head office. Every other program will be physically held at Vasantnagar branch premises or wherever as we update in our institute website. So we request your kind cooperation and also we request you to please attend in good numbers to branch. So CP will be granted only for physical programs henceforth, not for virtual, and we cannot even conduct virtual programs. With this note, I request our secretary, Manjunath Hallu, to kindly give an introduction and start the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Good evening, members. It's my proud privilege to introduce today's speaker, CA Bhimal Jain, sir. CA Bhimal Jain is a fellow member of Chartered Accountancy and his FCS also has completed his LLB and has more than 2.4 decades of experience in indirect taxation, especially in GST, service tax, excise customs, VAT, CST, FTP, and DGFT matters, etc. He has become a member since May 1994 and then member of Institute of Company Secretaries since December 2006. He has a bachelor's degree also. And he's founder of A to Z Tax Corp LLP, a boutique indirect tax firm. He is the chairman of Indirect Tax Committee of PhD Chamber of Commerce, chairman of the Corporate Advisory Committee of IPEM Group of Institutions, member of Indirect Tax Committee, ASSOCHAM, FICCI, and then special invitee of Indirect Tax Committee of ICI and then even ICSI also. Is a member of eminent faculties in Indirect Tax Committee in all the three institutes like CA, CAA, and CS institutes. He is recognized with so many awards as a keynote speaker at Guinness World Record made by ICSI in largest taxation lesson on GST attended by 4,500 plus participants, breaking earlier record held by Japan. Gold Award as Best Facilitator in GST by Tax India Online. Young Achievers Award at Igniting Minds 2015. Best Participant Award in MSOP 117 batch of ICSI, then many more. With this brief introduction, I present before you CA Bhimal Jain, sir. Over to you, sir.
At the outset, let me thank Chairman CA Dibya and Secretary Mr. Manjunath and other managing committee members from Bangalore branch and learned members who are joining for today's webinar on very important topic, export and deemed export. Mr. Manjunath, I will request you that if you can just open the chat box for all the participants so that all the participants can, chat with me through virtual mode.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean,
yeah.
Q&A and chat session will be, it will be open, sir. They can interact anytime. As and when you feel you would like to answer the questions, you can you can start.
I will just I want that you open it for all participants. See what happened in chat box. I'm finding it is restricted to host and panelist only.
Okay.
So kindly change it to all participants. You have to change the setting at your end.
Got it, sir. Nitin, can you do the ITTT?
Yes, sir, it is already enabled.
Enabled, right? Okay.
It is enabled. No, I can't see in a chat box. When I'm seeing that, it is not there. The option available to me, host and panelists, ICI Bangalore and Mr. Manjunath. None else can interact.
I already, think Soumya,
one madam has
interacted, yeah. Can I request anybody? I mean, some of the members can just say hi, good evening, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, it's coming.
Yes,
Okay. All right. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. And
Right.
second thing, before I start, I'm finding only 30 odd members have joined for today's webinar. So I don't know for what region there is no participation today, but really I thought of when I'm joining today and doing webinar for ICI Bangalore branch. Bangalore is known for me for large audience at all time. So I do not know, but today's participation looking very low in terms of numbers.
Yes,
So
sir. Actually, I mean, today is election day, so many of them are.
We could have avoided then. We could have taken a rest today. I'm saying that we could have taken it off today then.
Correct.
Not an issue, not an issue. So those who have attended, they must be benefited. They must get, due reward and recognition because they are taking out their time and joining today. I will make it really very interesting for them. And my request to each of the participants would be that you should be interacting with me through chat box mode. So in a chat box, you would be putting your answer. I would be posting a query to all of you. We would be discussing so many different examples to understand export and deemed export, which is the topic of the day. And let me tell you, I will really make it live for all of you. Believe me, without PowerPoint presentation today, you are going to enjoy that through virtual mode and through webinar, can we do this kind of interaction? But this is possible only when you all are promising to me that you would be interacting with me, you'd be posting your answer in a chat box, and we would be doing both-way communication. Hope I'm getting your yes in a chat box. Can I see yes in a chat box? So I could see Soumya is there, Mr. Jainath is there, Avandeep is there, so many guys are there. So Priya Jain is also there. That's good. So you all are learned and distinguished for me. Rest assured, those who are joining today, definitely we are going to enjoy this session. My promise to each one of you. And wherever you feel like you're not getting anything, you're free to, ping or post your comment in a chat box so that I can immediately take up those subject matter. So without taking much time, can I have your once again, yes, to start today's webinar to discuss export and deemed export. All right, this kind of yes is very interesting one. Though we are less in a number, I was not knowing that I would be having this much of minimum participation, but nevertheless, we will enjoy. My commitment to all of you, rest assured. So let me start with. Topic given to me, export and deemed export. But before I touch base, what is export and what is deemed export? What are the benefit available? From GST perspective, what we have to understand, that GST is on supply of goods or services or both. GST 3B due date set, that's why. So Soumya is coming immediately, GST 3B due date. Okay, it is GSTR 1 maybe, Soumya, not 3B. So GSTR 1 is due tomorrow. So that might be the case. Okay, Soumya, not an issue. Let's enjoy today. And any question to anyone's mind, leave export and deemed export. Anything which you want to ask in GST perspective, I'm there and I will definitely respond you back. But allow me to make my deliberation for 1 hour, 15 minutes. Then I will open this window for any question answers. Whatever you want to ask in GST, I will try my best. And my challenge to each one of you like IPL. So I will definitely try to respond back to all the queries which is being bowled by you to me as a batsman. So let's get started. GST is on supply of goods or services or both. In GST, what we normally understand is taxable supplies on which GST leviable. It can be intrastate or interstate. And the thumb rule is for intrastate, location of supplier and place of supply within same state, it is called intrastate, CGST and SGST. Interstate, location of supplier is in one state and place of supply is in different state, that is called interstate, IGST leviable. But what is this export we are talking about? As we understand export in normal layman language, as if we are exporting goods or services from India to a place outside India. This is in simplistic manner we are discussing. But let me move further, then I will tell you. What is export of goods? What is export of services? What are the challenges today? What are the case studies and different judgment we are getting? I'm trying to simplify for each one of you. The first one, export are being considered as zero-rated supply. Zero-rated supply. As the name suggests, that export going to be zero-rated. So my first question before I move further, even exempted supply on which no GST is being charged because either they are at nil rate or exempted by way of exemption notification, or they are non-taxable supply. So we don't charge any GST when we talk about exempted supplies. And correspondingly for zero rated, what we understand, there will be zero rate applicable. That's what the meaning coming out. My question to each one of you, whether zero rated and exempted are same or different. So you may answer in a chat box same or different. So that conceptually we should be clear about that it is different or same. So I'm getting answer from a lot of you and everyone is writing different. Definitely this is the answer, is different. So zero rated are subject to zero GST, but that is not exempted supply. So to explain further, let me start. As per Constitution of India, it is being stated that we must export goods and services, but taxes should not be exported. Taxes should not be exported. That is the reason you find export are made zero rated. So there are two possible situations, and which we are going to discuss little later, but zero rated, we are not supposed to levy any tax and it should be out of or free of GST. That is the reason it is called zero rated. To get the provision within the GST law, section 16 of IGST Act is very important. Section 16 of IGST Act. So section 16 subsection 1 is referring to two subclauses, subclause A and subclause B. It is being stated that zero-rated supply of goods or services includes two items: export of goods or services, or supply of goods or services, or both, to SEZ unit or developer. So for you to understand, there are only two supply: export and supply to SEZ unit or developer for authorized operation. These two are being considered as a zero-rated supply. When you go to section 16 subsection 2, it is saying subject to the provision of section 17 subsection 5. And section 17 subsection 5 talked about block credit, negative list. You can't claim credit. So they're saying subject to this provision, if you're a registered person and you're exporting, zero-rated supply, supplying to SEZ unit or developer, these two transactions, you're entitled to avail ITC, input tax credit, even though your export is of exempted goods or exempted services. To explain this transaction, let me take this example further. Let's say I'm exporter, Bhimal Jain is an exporter. And Bhimal Jain is exporting a goods which is exempted in domestic within India transaction, exempted by notification number 2/2017. So if Bhimal is domestically supplying these goods, then exempted because of exemption notification. So when my outward is exempted, then question will come, I may be procuring raw material. I may be procuring input services. I may be having capital goods for manufacturing. And I would have incurred GST on my inward supply. When I'm domestically supplying, which is exempted, my question to all of you, can I claim ITC, input tax credit? On inward, I have paid GST, but outward, it is exempted. Can I claim ITC? Say yes and no in a chat box. Yes and no in a chat box. I can't claim. Now I'm topping up. If I'm exporting these goods, which is per se exempted, so I'm exporting the same goods, which is exempted. Then the question of this GST input tax credit, which I paid on my inward supply, it's available to me or not? Say yes and no in a chat box, because it continued to be exempted. So answer H. And everyone is writing. So I'm thanking each one of you that you are participating with me. Yes, credit is available. Now, third top up. So you all have agreed that for export of exempted supplies, that may be goods or services, credit is available. And in GST, we know there are two mechanisms available. One is called refund of input tax credit, or rebate model, where you charge IGST and claim that refund of IGST. Now, my question to all of you, please, there are two options available. Refund of ITC, which I paid on my inward supply, but my outward being exempted, but export, then you all have said that credit is available. Another option which is available for making zero rated, that I can apply IGST on my export. So my question to all of you, if I'm exporting exempted supplies, can I follow IGST route of IGST, applying IGST on my outward export of exempted goods or services, or compulsorily I have to go for refund of ITC route? So you can write down in a chat box IGST if you agree, or you can say refund of ITC. So I will get some feeling of it, that what you're suggesting. So Ramya is saying IGST, but otherwise, apart from Ramya, Priya is also saying refund of ITC. Of course, quite obvious and logically, Ramya, to you, when it is exempt supplies, no IGST leviable, then short, you cannot apply IGST on export of exempted supply. You have to go back, refund for ITC route. Hope I'm clear to all of you. Except Ramya, everyone has given the right answer. Can I see Ramya to saying yes in a chat box that this part is clear, because he or she has made the mistake? Okay, all right. Okay, having said that, now I'm coming back. Ramya, I will come back. You can just pause for your question. I will come back. Let me go with my momentum, right? So section 16, subsection 3, now giving two options to all of us together. Either follow the refund of ITC route, or go with the model of rebate, where IGST applied on your export and you get the refund of IGST. My question to all of you, which option you would be preferring if you're 100% exporter? You're not having any domestic transaction. If you're 100% exporter, what would be your advice to your client? Follow refund of ITC or IGST? Write down in a chat box, please. So Jainath is saying ITC, Lakshman is saying refund of ITC. Okay, so refund of ITC, IGST, mixed answer I'm getting in a chat box. Mixed answer I'm getting in the chat box. But still some of you are not writing, which is not correct. We have promised to ourselves that we will interact, right? We have promised to ourselves, even though you don't know the answer, but there's no harm logically you can apply your mind. And that is how we can enjoy today's webinar. So can I put a request once again to all of you? Can I put a request to each one of you? Write down something in the chat box. My question was very simple. If you're a tax consultant and you need to advise to your client to follow whether the refund of ITC route or IGST route, I just wanted to have an answer. And now let me tell you with an example so that we all can conclude. If you are an exporter, 100% exporter, and take example and understand. Let's say Bhimal Jain is a 100% exporter of goods or services. I got raw material, say for 60 rupees, raw material for 60 rupees. And I got input services for 20 rupees. And I got capital goods for 20 rupees, total 100 rupees and 18% GST, meaning thereby on my inward supply, there's a credit of 18 rupees, totaling for input service and capital goods. Now we have to see the option 1 and option 2. If I'm following the refund of ITC route, input tax credit route, section 54 read with rule 89, then it is clearly saying, Bhimal, you will get refund of only input and input services. I must appreciate Priya, who has written the answer in a chat box. And she has said that reason being ITC refund on capital goods is not permissible. So you will be allowed to take refund only on input and input services, not on capital goods. So on 80 rupees, you will get 18%, which is 14.4 rupees if you're following refund of ITC route. But let's say you want to follow IGST route, rebate model, and then the value addition 20%, profit margin 20%, including all other stuff. So your outward is 120 rupees, and you want to apply IGST 18%. So on 120 rupees, 18% applied, it become 21.60 paisa, 21.60 paisa. So for payment of 21.60 paisa, you're going to use your ITC credit of 18 rupees on input service and capital goods. Listen once again, capital goods. So all three together. So you're going to use 18 rupees ITC and balance you will pay in cash. And when you apply IGST 18% on 120 rupees, then quite obvious you will get whole money back from the government, 21.6 in cash from the government. But in this IGST route, the amazing part which you have seen, you are entitled to use your credit on input service and capital goods, which was not available when we were discussing about refund of ITC, because that was restricted on capital goods. So only refund permissible on input and input services, 14.4. So thereby, in a given mathematical equation, if you are 100% exporter, then which model would be beneficial? Now, please tell me once again in a chat box. Keeping both the parameter in a mind, IGST route is the simplest way to get the maximum money back to your working capital. So only 3-4%. I hope I'm clear to all of you. Only 5-6% has given the answer in a chat box. I really want each one of you to write so that I get feel of it that this part is very clear to all of you. Please. So IGST route. All right. And again, I'm requesting that I really want to see your, ping comment in a chat box. That will give me, feel of it that you are connected with me. So we have discussed IGST is the most simplistic way, and that's what we can follow now. So we have discussed this part, section 16. Now we are talking about export. Export of goods or export of services. What is export of goods, by the way? And let me take my one example, and then I will discuss what is the meaning of export of goods. Let's say I'm registered in Karnataka. Bhimal Jain is registered in Karnataka. He got one order from a customer from US. He got one order from a customer from US. And this US customer wanted to deliver the goods from A location of Karnataka to B location of Karnataka only. But the supplier is getting paid by the customer from US in convertible foreign exchange. I hope my example is very, very clear. So Bhimal, registered in Karnataka, who is a supplier of goods, got an order from customer from US, $100. And he was supposed to deliver the goods from A location in Karnataka to B location in Karnataka. But billing to the customer at US, getting paid in convertible foreign exchange from US customer only. Please tell me whether this transaction is export of goods or not. Say yes and no. Say yes and no in a chat box. Say yes and no in a chat box. Oh, so it's not one guy. Basant is saying yes. Only Basant is saying yes. So Priya is saying export of goods. Priya, not expected from you. Priya, I never expected that you are going to give me this answer. And now listen very carefully. Listen very carefully. It is not export of goods. Section 2, subsection 5 of IGST Act clearly says export of goods means with its all grammatical variation and cognate expression, taking a goods from India to a place outside India. Taking a goods from India to a place outside India. So in the example which I discussed, am I really taking these goods from A location of Karnataka to a place outside India? No, I'm not. I'm just delivering from A place in Karnataka to B place in Karnataka. So my goods are not going out of the country, even though invoiced to the customer at US, getting paid from US customer in convertible foreign exchange, but it will not be export of goods. Am I clear? So Naresh has given the right answer. I agree with him, but you all must say yes in a chat box that this part is very, very clear. Say yes in a chat box that yes, this part is very, very clear, including Basant and Priya, because these two participants made the mistake. All right, so it is not export of goods. Perfect. So my next question to all of you. You are raising invoice to a customer outside India, right? But delivering the goods from A location of Karnataka to B location of Karnataka. Is it intra-state CGST and Karnataka SGST or IGST because you are raising invoice to the customer outside India? Please tell me. Transaction would be intra or inter. Please tell me. Write down in a chat box. So Soumya is the first one. So a lot of you lot of you have started, answering in this differently, which you can see in a chat box, right? So it is open for all of us that we can see the answer coming in a different mode. Now, you all need to answer it. 10, 1, A. of IGST Act. First, we have concluded it is not export of goods. So section 11 of IGST Act is not applicable. What is applicable? Section 10, subsection 1, clause A. And this is saying place of supply, where supply involves movement of goods, either by supplier or by recipient or by any other person. Place of supply would be destination of goods, which is B location in Karnataka. So location of supplier, A location Karnataka. Destination of goods is B location in Karnataka. Quite obvious, transaction would be. Now write down the answer. Write down the answer, intra or inter. I've given you my analysis of legal provision. Intra or inter, CGST and Karnataka SGST. Still inter, Nikhil. Nikhil, you're writing inter. So after doing so much of work, if you make me fail, Nikhil, problem. Nikhil, please tell me, it is intra or inter? Hope I'm clear to all of you. Oh, so Ramya is saying we cannot see other participants' comment. Oh, so I don't know, that is the Zoom network, some problem. So Srinath is saying again inter, Anil Kumar is saying inter. So 3 guys had made the mistake. Only 3 guys. Location of supplier is Karnataka, no doubt, right? No doubt. Since this transaction is not export of goods, then section 11 place of supply provision not applicable. Then section 10 going to be applicable, 10(1)(a) of IGST Act, section 10 subsection 1 clause A of IGST Act. And it clearly saying place of supply would be destination of goods, which is B location in Karnataka. So place of supply, it's Karnataka, B location. Location of supplier Karnataka, place of supply the Karnataka, transaction would be intrastate. So 3 guys made the mistake. Please, those who made the mistake must correct. Those who have said inter, Anil, Srinath Reddy, please tell me, write down in a chat box, it will be intrastate supply. Am I right? Am I right? So write down. Okay. Okay, all right. So agreed now, perfect. Now, third question to this particular question. Now, there may be a case that US customer now raising invoice to the ultimate person who has received the goods at B's location. I hope I'm clear. Let's make it more interesting so that you can enjoy this part. So you have discussed supplier to customer at US. This transaction you have discussed. Now, US customer raising invoice to the ultimate customer at B location of Karnataka. So this invoice is being raised by US customer. So US customer becomes supplier and ultimate customer at B location become that real customer, recipient. Whether GST leviable, please tell me yes and no. Whether GST leviable, please tell me yes and no in a chat box. Hope I'm clear to all of you. So some of you, Priya is saying yes. Okay, a lot of no. See, import duty can't be levied, custom duty can't be levied unless goods enter into custom frontier of India. Can't be levied, can't be levied. Goods are not coming from US to India. So there is no question of custom duty, including IGST leviable. I hope I'm clear to all of you. And on the first transaction, which was delivered from A place to B place, GST already being charged. So this subsequent transaction is not chargeable to GST. Hope I'm clear to all of you. Say yes in a chat box that you got with clear terms. Say yes in a chat box that this part is clear. Please say yes once again. I want to see yes coming from my all good learned participants so that I really feel. So Priya, once again, you're taking my time again, but let me tell you once again. Priya, if US customer who is become supplier now, raising invoice to the ultimate customer at B location in Karnataka, he's only raising invoice, but there's no supply coming from US to India. So if no supply of goods coming from US to India, so nothing is moving into custom frontier of India. So for levy of custom duty, including IGST, there's no question. Nothing to be levied custom duty, including IGST, unless goods enter into custom frontier of India. This is what I have explained and not chargeable. Priya, am I okay? Okay, all right. So we did discuss what is export of goods. Now let me again discuss some more example so that I can get little more clarity that you people are really getting grip on the subject matter. Listen. Let's say you are registered in Karnataka, and listen very carefully because this transaction are coming so frequently, and in GST we are having debate and doubt throughout. And without PowerPoint presentation, we are discussing and deliberating through webinar. Amazing, because I'm getting answers from each one of you. This means things are getting really good to each one of you. Listen very carefully. I'm registered in Karnataka. I got an order for $120 for supply of goods. I got an order from US customer based at US for $120. So I was having two options. The first option, I could have supplied from Karnataka to US at $120. This was the first option, which I did not choose. So I did not supply from Karnataka to US. I did not do that. What I did, I have identified a supplier at Korea, South Korea. And this supplier is now directly supplying on my behalf from South Korea to US to my ultimate customer. So this South Korea supplier raising invoice to Bhimal Jain registered in Karnataka at $100. And Bhimal Jain raising invoice to the customer at the US at $120. So first you tell me in a chat box, you have understood this facts. Say yes, so that I can start posting query one by one. Say yes in a chat box. Okay. So very good. Soumya, Bisal, Lakshmikant, everyone, thank you very much. Let me ask first question. Supplier of South Korea raising invoice for $100 to Bhimal Jain registered in Karnataka with a GST leviable, say yes and no. With a GST leviable, say yes and no. Okay. So all of you are saying GST not leviable. Simple, because goods are not coming from South Korea to India. It is not entering into custom frontier of India. So there is no question of custom duty, including IGST, which I discussed just while ago. So no custom duty, including IGST. So on $100, which is on debit side of your PL account as a purchase, no GST leviable. My second question to all of you. Now, Bhimal Jain registered in Karnataka, going to raise invoice to the US customer at $120. Revenue coming on my credit side of PL account with a GST leviable. Tell me, GST leviable, say yes and no. Okay. Everyone is saying no. That's very good. Let me ask this question in a different manner. Is it export of goods? Please tell me. Is it export of goods? Tell me yes and no. Is it export of goods? I'm just differently worded this question. Is it export of goods? Perfect. So thank you, Bisal, Srinatha, Avandeep Mehta. Okay. So two guys has given answer as a yes. So if I'm naming, don't take personal. Huh? So enjoy the session. So Bisal and Srinatha has given wrong answer. For export, I told you when you're taking goods from India to a place outside India. Is it a case of taking goods from India to a place outside India? It is from South Korea to US. How come it is export? It is not export. It is not export. So my answer to Bisal and Srinatha, I will come back. Priya, I will come back. Oh, don't complicate the matter. Don't complicate the matter. Let's go with me, right? So first Srinatha and Bisal say yes in a chat box. It is not export of goods. So yes means you understood it. Say yes in a chat box so that I will feel like you understood it. Okay. Srinatha and Bisal, you are left. Okay, all right. So both of them has agreed it is not export, and all of us are agreeing it is not export. But $120 invoice raised from Karnataka to US customer, GST leviable. Please tell me. This is my next question. GST leviable, yes and no. So you can write down in the chat box, whatever coming to your mind. So a lot of you are answering now. No. Okay. Okay. Perfect. So I got the answer no from maximum of you. None has given me the wrong answer. No GST leviable. For simple reason, there are three specific entry. In schedule 3, which is neither a supply of goods nor supply of services. Para 7 and para 8. This is called merchant trading. There are two more transactions. One is called high C sell and one is called supply of warehouse goods before home clearance, domestic clearance. So let me discuss two other transactions as well. And listen very carefully so that no doubt henceforth, because you should have grip on the subject matter. At the end, I'm going to share my mobile number also, because you people are learned audience, taking out time, even though election day today, but still you're taking out time and joining today. I'm enjoying with all of you. I'm sure you must be enjoying with me also and finding difference of, interacting through webinar also. So I'm enjoying thoroughly. I'm sure you're enjoying. So look forward. Okay, all right. So listen now carefully. One is high C sell, high C sell. What is high C sell? Let's say I have imported a goods from Korea, South Korea, $100. Imported at $100 from South Korea. Before goods move into custom frontier of India, when goods are on high seas, I've sold the goods to B. So Bhimal Jain has sold the goods to, let's say, another customer B at $120 on high seas before goods are entering into custom frontier of India. Same question will come in PL account of Bhimal Jain. There would be purchase invoice for $100 from South Korea supplier with a custom duty, including IGST leviable. Say yes and no in a chat box. It has not moved into custom frontier of India. So say yes and no. There's no, straightforward no. Because high C sell transaction, again, part of schedule 3 transaction. Now, when I'm selling at $120 to the B, who is also registered in Karnataka, he is going to file bill of entry ultimately for home consumption. So whether we has to pay custom duty, including IGST, please tell me yes and no. Yes and no, whether B has to pay custom duty. Answer is yes, B has to pay custom duty at 120. Okay, let me ask this question also, because I thought let me take. B has to pay custom duty including IGST on $100 or $120. Now please answer it. $100 or $120. So only two persons, Soumya and Nikhil has given wrong answer to me. Priya has given wrong answer to me. Okay. So again, Vishal is right this time. So I really want answer from each one of you. Please, the three guys, Nikhil, Priya, and Vishal is correct. So please, I want answer from all of you. B, who is ultimately filing bill of entry for home consumption, whether he will discharge custom duty, including IGST on $100 or $120. Okay, I will tell you, Vishnu, kindly allow me. On $120. On $120. Because that is the ultimate purchase price in the hands of B, Priya. That is what Nikhil. Why mistake? Should not do the mistake. $120. So hope I'm clear this part. Vishnu is asking, in the high C cell in GSTR1, this should be shown as a non-GST supply, right, sir? Of course, it's a non-GST supply, because in the hands of B, who imported and sold when goods were on high seas, neither a supply of goods nor supply of services. It may be left also, need not required to be, but to have reconciliation done, advisable. That is my answer. Vishnu, can you say? Vishnu, can you say yes, that you got my point? Okay. So Anil is asking of vendor from overseas. Okay. What if final customer is a related party? Anil, now you are stepping into the shoes of custom valuation. If it is related party transaction, then we have to prove arm's length pricing, which is irrespective of fact. What is the GST implication? So though I've given you the answer, Anil, if it is related party transaction, then custom valuation is one of the issue for the arm's length pricing, which is irrespective of our discussion, whatever we are discussing here. So Anil, am I clear to you? Say yes in a chat box that you understood that what I supposed to say that. Please tell me in a chat box, Anil, say yes at least, so that I can move further. Okay. Anil still, sir, but the final customer is purchasing from unrelated person. Now here. Okay. Anil, I got it. If Anil, this is the transaction you are ultimately purchasing from unrelated party, then custom authority can really get into the deeper colorable device, Anil, colorable device. Sometime to avoid, we create such kind of situation. So it is all depending on the assessing authority. He may go back and check other way around also. Okay. All right. So little part, Soumya, allow me. Soumya, kindly allow me. I got some question, but then momentum will go away. So please permit me to make my presentation, and then at the end you can post the query. Soumya, come back. Listen very carefully now. So this was high C cell. What about the supply of goods within custom bonded warehouse? Similar. You are importing the goods, keeping it in a custom bonded warehouse, which is considered that it is beyond the custom territory. It has not entered into custom frontier of India. That is what the transaction all about. And when you supply such goods which is warehoused in custom bonded warehouse, I'm repeating, custom bonded warehouse before home clearance. It is neither a supply of goods nor supply of services, and no GST leviable. No GST para 7, para 8A, para 8B. So these three transactions are kept out of GST. So this amendment was initially made from 1st February 2019. 1st February 2019. Department started litigating these transactions for prior period, prior to 1st February 2019. But fortunately and laudably, this Finance Act 2023 recent budget with retrospective date, July 1, 2017, they have said that these three transactions is continue to be Schedule 3 transaction from July 1, 2017, neither a supply of goods nor supply of services, no GST leviable. Well done. But two aspects I want to discuss here, two aspects. Another change which they have proposed, they have said if we have paid the GST for these three transactions by mistake, if you have paid the GST for these three transactions for the period prior to 1st February 2019, then they are saying refund will not be granted. Refund will not be granted. To that clarification, I'm having my own doubt. And I'm of the opinion, if this transaction, which is not chargeable to GST, irrespective of any date, supply from Korea to US, can you levy tax in India? IGST applicable only for the transaction whole of India. You can't levy transaction which is happening outside India. So even though it was initially amended from 1st February 2019, and now they have done retrospectively from July 1, 2017, does not mean that GST was leviable prior to 1st February 2019. To my mind, it is without authority of law, Article 265. And to my mind, refund is permissible. Refund is permissible. You have to only satisfy condition of unjust enrichment. Incidents should not have been passed on. Otherwise, the person who is bearing this tax incidence, he is entitled to claim refund from the department. Tell me yes in a chat box that this part is also clear to all of you. Say yes in a chat box that this part is also clear. All right, next part. Okay, everyone is saying yes. I'm thankful to each one of you. Thankful to each one of you. Next part. When these three transactions shown as an outward supply on credit side of your PL account, revenue, but no GST charge. So there may be a question that you may be having common ITC, input tax credit, pertaining to this $120 outward supply on which no GST charge, being Schedule 3 transaction. So we have discussed the concept of exempted supplies. When my outward is exempted, then I'm not entitled to avail any input tax credit, right? So common ITC you're having, let's say for 10 rupees, pertaining to this $120 outward supply, which is Schedule 3 transaction. My question to all of you, are you supposed to reverse this common ITC pertaining to these three transactions, para 7 and para 8A and 8B of Schedule 3? Do we require to reverse, say yes and no, or pro rata, maybe common ITC pro rata. So some Kiran has said the pro rata. So please tell me, do we require to reverse, say yes and no? Priya is saying reversal. Okay. Nikhil is also saying reversal. I really want an answer from all of you. Even though you do not know, please write in a chat box to help me out. Do you want really me that from my side I put everything on fire I really want to see this chat box is vibrant. Okay. So maximum of you has given answer as a reversal, pro rata reversal. To that extent, no reversal required. No reversal required. Please, all of you, maximum of you have made mistake. Even though para 7 and para 8 of schedule 3 is neither a supply of goods or services, no GST charge, but you were not required to reverse common ITC as per section 17 subsection 3, 17 subsection 3 of CGST Act. You are not required. With recent change in budget 2023, Finance Act 2023, now you would be required to reverse common ITC only pertaining to para 8A, which is supply of warehouse goods, warehouse in custom bonded warehouse before home clearance, only pertaining to para 8A, you need to reverse common ITC pro rata. With this budget, these changes are being made with this budget, but this provision is yet to be notified. It's a part of Finance Act 2023. Changes made in explanation under section 17 subsection 3, but from a date to be notified. My analysis to this provision is, if reversal required, then reversal would be required only for transaction effected on or after when this section gets notified. So for the past period transaction, no reversal would be required. Hope I'm clear. Say yes in a chat box. This is the point at which I wanted to deliberate. Hope I'm clear to all of you. Say yes that you got my point. Say yes in a chat box so that no doubt exists. All right. So Bisal is saying yes. Kiran is saying yes. So very good. Thank you very much. Nikhil, what only retrospective? For reversal, no retrospective. For reversal, no. For reversal, it is only prospective. Nikhil, Soumya, 17.3 not clear. Oh, let me again, Soumya. Listen, I'm taking Som is saying she's not clear or he's not clear. Soumya, is he or she here? I don't know. If you can just introduce yourself in a chat box. See, Soumya, very simple. Listen. I said these three transactions. Listen, very 1 minute, because there are so many other participants waiting. So quickly I'm doing. $120 para 7 and para 8A and 8B, no GST. Outward, no GST. Neither a supply of goods nor supply of services. Question was whether reversal of common ITC required pertaining to these three transactions. Answer is no. It was no. No reversal required. Only with the Finance Act 2023, they are saying that para 8A, supply of goods, which is within custom bonded warehouse before home clearance. Pertaining to only this transaction, reversal would be required, but from a date to be notified. So I concluded, of course, now this provision is made for reversal. So two transactions still out, merchant trading, Korea to US, and high seas still out, no reversal. But for para 8A, supply of warehouse goods before home clearance, common reversal of pro rata credit would be required, but from a date to be notified. Prospectively, not retrospectively. That is what I discussed. Am I clear now? Am I clear? So Nikhil, it is prospective. So Soumya, you have to say yes at least in the chat box. Okay, all right. So this was on export of goods. Now coming back on what is export of services? Export of services. And again, there are many examples. So before I move, let me interact with my participants today. Let me interact. I know we are very less in numbers because of election day in Karnataka. But those who are attending and enjoying the session today, let me interact with each one of you. We are almost 1 hour, with no PowerPoint presentation, no technical provision, with a lot of example I'm discussing with all of you. First, you tell me that you're really liking it, right? You're liking the subject, you're liking the content, you're liking the examples, and you're enjoying the session. That this is really, you're grasping now. Am I really, can I ask from each one of you? Can I say? Okay. Oh, so much of relief to me that you people are really saying and enjoying. That's interesting part. Okay. Maximum half an hour, because I know it is 6 to 8. I will do till 7:30, then I will open the floor for any question answer. And then sometime in future, we will do at length some bigger class for half an hour, discussing some other component of export and deemed export. Okay, let's discuss export of services now. For export of services, first listen the provision, section 2, subsection 6 of IGST Act. Read with place of supply provision of section 13 of IGST Act for services. Listen very carefully. For export of services, 5 conditions need to be satisfied. 5 conditions. And I'm going to take your test. Please, you have to be ready. I'm going to take your test. First, supplier must be located in India. Second, recipient must be outside India. Third, place of supply must be outside India. Fourth, supplier must be getting this money, the exports proceeds, in convertible foreign exchange, unless otherwise permitted by RBI, Reserve Bank of India, in INR. And this INR provision got changed from 1st February 2019. So you can get the money in convertible foreign exchange, or you can also get in INR, provided RBI permit to do so. And this provision got changed from 1st February 2019. And last, supplier and recipient should not be merely establishment of distinct person. Merely establishment of distinct person. So I hope 5 conditions you must have understood properly, right? So to create some confusion in your mind, confusion intentionally, I'm creating one example for you. Confusion. I just want to check. I'm sure a lot of you are practicing chartered accountant, tax consultant, but let me see whether you can really grasp the provision or not. Let me tell you the first example. Let's say I'm registered in Karnataka. I'm being approached by some Korea company, Hyundai. Let's say Hyundai company approaching to Bhimal Jain, registered in Karnataka, and they wanted that Bhimal Jain should undertake promotion of their goods and services in India. Promotion of their goods and services in India. So Bhimal Jain, registered in Karnataka, approached by Korea company Hyundai for promotion of product and services of Hyundai, Korea-based company. And this Bhimal Jain getting paid as a percentage commission, or by whatever name called. So in this transaction, Bhimal started marketing and promotion of goods and services of Hyundai, Korea company. So some customer in India is purchasing the goods from Hyundai directly. So on that purchase, Bhimal Jain getting paid 10%, So Bhimal Jain raising 10% invoice to Hyundai company. So question, and which you need to now answer it. You need to now answer it because I said I'm going to complicate this question. So let me see whether you got it or not. Supplier Bhimal Jain in India, satisfied. Recipient is Hyundai company because that is the company with whom I got privity of contract. I'm being paid by Hyundai only. Second condition satisfied. Third, I'm getting convertible foreign exchange. The Hyundai making me payment in convertible foreign exchange. Fourth, Bhimal Jain, Karnataka registered, Hyundai, Korea registered are not merely establishment of distinct person. Fourth condition satisfied. Fifth condition, place of supply must be outside India. So you have to tell me in a chat box whether in this transaction, whether place of supply is outside India or not. Say yes and no. Yes and no. So let me see how many of you. So I'm going to name each one of you. If you're right, I will tell you you're the right. If you're not right, then I will tell you that you're not right. So Kiran Mai, okay, a lot of you. So Anil Kumar, everyone is saying India, India, India. Okay. Oh, very good. So supplies in India. Oh, very well done. POS, Ramya is saying intermediary services. Oh, well done. So a lot of you have given the right answer. I must compliment and congratulate that a lot of you have read section 13, subsection 8, clause B of IGST Act. And as per section 13, subsection 8, clause B, place of supply is location of supplier. Karnataka. So location of supplier because of his registration, Karnataka, place of supply, again location of supplier. So it is not export of services. It is not. GST leviable 18%, 18% leviable. Now next question would be whether it would be CGST and SGST or IGST. Please tell me in a chat box. Okay, so you all are right. It is not export, 18% GST leviable, but question is intra or inter. So CGST and SGST or IGST, please. So a lot of you starting with Soumya, Ramya, Laxman, Jai Raja, Vishal. Okay, Anil is little right. Okay. Okay, Nikhil is also wrong. Okay, so those who have given wrong answer, I name them, right? Srinath, wrong. Priya, where is your answer? Priya Jain, where's your answer? Srinath, C plus S. So C plus S or IGST, what is the answer? CGST, no, no, no. Oh, big question. Gujarat High Court. Now, let me. Soumya sir, but can we collect tax from foreign party? There is no problem, Soumya. You can always collect the tax and deposit the tax. For that, no problem. Because of this transaction is not going, place of supply is in India. So for me, it is not a transaction outside India. So I can always collect, Soumya. Listen now, listen now carefully. There are two big questions on this point. The first point was constitutional validity. Whether this place of supply for intermediary is right or wrong. Quite obvious. Bhimal is giving services to Hyundai Korea, right? Hyundai Korea. Ultimate beneficiary who is utilizing the services is Hyundai company, Korea. Customer to whom I've identified in India, they are only getting advantage. They become beneficiary, but ultimately services, Bhimal Jain services are utilized by Hyundai Korea. In realistic term, these services being intangible, traveling from India to Korea. It is enjoyed by Korean company. But because of place of supply provision, all drama. So it was challenged before the Gujarat High Court. constitutional validity. And Gujarat High Court has given judgment that 13 subsection 8 clause B of IGST Act is right and levy is constitutionally valid. This matter has gone to Bombay High Court in Dharmender in M. Jani case. Initially, two members of division bench has differed from each other. But now recently with the larger bench, the judgment has come, and as per this judgment, they have constitutionally said it is valid provision. They can't go back. Law is like that, and they're saying GST leviable. Only question was whether it should be intrastate C and S, which you all of you have said C and S. But as per this judgment, and I do not know how many of you have taken my last book, last law and commentary book. I do not know how many of you have taken. We did this analysis before this judgment came. As per my book, if you look at this provision, which I discuss at length, and I said IGST should have been charged. IGST should have been charged. IGST. And that is what now Bombay High Court has said. This transaction IGST should be leviable, not C plus S. Not C plus S. So IGST they are supposed to. And why this IGST? Let me tell you. See, when I'm invoicing to Hyundai outside India, can I apply place of supply provision for services section 12? Which is when supplier and recipient is in India. I can't apply. I can't apply. Read by section 8 subsection 2, because section 8 subsection 2 is saying subject to section 12, and section 12 is not applicable. They are saying, so to that extent, I have done the analysis in my last book. I've analyzed, and that is what the correct proposition picked up in this judgment. And they're saying IGST should be levied, not C plus S. So for me, I've discussed two components: constitutional validity, which is held valid, and it should be IGST leviable. Please tell me, am I clear to all of you? Say yes in a chat box that I'm clear to all of you. Say yes in a chat box that this part is clear to all of you. So I'm finding little yes. Still, some of you are here. Okay, yes. See, we are having 40. Okay, so Priya is saying clear, sir. I have read that judgment. Thank you. So that analysis we did before, which was there in our book, now our latest book, Law and Commentary, is again published yesterday, which is 4-volume book. We have done the analysis at deeper length. So this was the one example. Now let me tell you another aspect. Let me take another way, another test for you. If you succeed in this example, then I will give you 90% marks with exemption. If you succeed. This example, I'm asking you if you can answer this query, 90% marks to all the participants, and I'm going to name it individually who gave me the right answer. Now listen carefully. Maruti of India, Maruti registered in Haryana, approaching to Mr. I.H. Kim of Korea. And Maruti asking Mr. I.H. Kim of Korea to promote the market for their product and services in Korea. So I'm just reversing the example. So I.H. Kim is marketing the product and services of Maruti in Korea. Maruti is successful to supply goods to some customer base at Korea. And then I.H. Kim is raising invoice to Maruti, 10% commission, or by whatever name called. Tell me, with a reverse charge method in the hands of Maruti, registered in Haryana, it's applicable or not? Yes or no? If you give me the right answer, then 90% distinction you will get. If you give me the wrong answer, again you will try. So RCM applicable or not applicable? So I'm not saying who gave me the right and wrong. I'm just waiting to get the answer in a chat box. Some of you are still struggling to give me the answer. I could find only 5-6 guys out of total audience has given me the answer. I really want, I should get answer from a maximum of you. Maximum of you. Ramya is saying something, but I will not sound it what he's saying. Okay, so go ahead. So I got a lot of answers from everyone. So I don't know, Priya. I've communicated its marketing services in Korea, undoubtedly. You have to tell me whether RCM applicable or not. RCM applicable or not. Pradeep is saying something. I'm not going to say who is saying what. I will tell you because this chat box is not open to all of you because of inherent feature of this Joho platform. But nevertheless, let me see. Soumya is saying RCM applicable. So Soumya is saying RCM applicable. Okay. Who else? Okay. Okay. So Priya is RCM applicable. Jayaraja is saying RCM applicable. Oof, 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 oof. Naresh is saying applicable. Kiran is saying not applicable. Okay. Now listen very carefully. So I made it little, googly kind of IPL is going on. So I made googly and I was trying to check whether you can really give me the right answer or not. For RCM to be applicable, we have to satisfy import of services provision, right? Import of services. For import of services, 3 conditions need to be satisfied. Supplier is from outside India, IH Kim, Korea, satisfied. Recipient must be in India, Maruti, in India. And for import of services subject to RCM, place of supply must be in India, So those who have said RCM applicable is similar for intermediary services, 13 subsection 8 clause B, with a place of supply is in India. I'm asking you. That is the only important part which you need to satisfy. If IHKM is same as intermediary as previous example, then POS would be outside India, not in India. So location of supplier outside India, POS outside India, virtually no RCM applicable. Oof. No RCM applicable. So who gave the right answer? Let me name them one by one. Because I said I'm going to appreciate each one of them, those who have given the right answer. Okay, so there's some Lakshmi, I don't know, Srinath, Jayanath, Vishal, Anil, Sanjay, Pradeep, Ramya, Vishal, some P. Pari, name is not coming fully, so P. Pari is coming. Who gave the right answers? Shall I name them? No, I will not. I know that who gave the wrong answer, but I have made it very simple for understanding's sake. Lakshmi is correct? Okay, Lakshmi is correct. Okay, I appreciate Lakshmi that you gave the right answer. But now all of you tell me, have you understood it? That no RCM applicable, say yes in a chat box. Say yes in a chat box. No RCM applicable. So that no doubt. Okay, all right. Now look at one bigger aspect of this transaction. There is one taxation policy, one is the economic policy. This transaction, to me, copy-paste provision for place of supply for intermediary from 1st October 2014. 1st October 2014. Copy-paste provision, copy-paste. They are picked up in GST from service tax era. Is not correct. When I was giving services to Hyundai from India to Korea, I'm getting foreign exchange for India, but 18% chargeable. If I'm going to charge 18% to Hyundai Korea, there's no double tax avoidance agreement. For Korea party, Korea customer, this 18% become cost. It is not competitive. And convertible foreign exchange coming in India. But in reverse case, no RCM and convertible foreign exchange, Maruti is paying to IHKIM, going out of the country. See, in first case, I'm earning convertible foreign exchange. As per POS, they want me to levy 18%, making my price incompetitive to Hyundai. In RCM case, no GST and convertible foreign exchange going out of the country. So taxation policy and government policy, economic policy are not synced together. It should be simple, location of recipient. That should have been the right approach, because ultimately these services are being utilized by the recipient. Hope I'm clear to all of you. Am I clear to all of you? Say yes in a chat box. One chota sa yes, that this part is clear to all of you. All right. So last component of the day, last component. I will not take much. I know that it was hectic day for all of you. How many of you have voted today? Tell me in a chat box, you voted, then put something like, you voted today. How many of you voted? Say yes in the chat box, voted. Okay, I have voted. Okay, perfect. So let me ask next question. Which government is going to be formed? BJP or Congress? Priya from Delhi, not voted. Oh, Priya from Delhi. Okay. So which government going to form in Karnataka? BJP or Congress or hung government? Okay. Some of you are hung. Okay. All right. We will know Saturday. Nikhil, not an issue. We are just enjoying. We are trying to enjoy today. That's all, nothing else. Are you all ready for the last discussion, or shall I pause here and do sometime later? Please allow me, because audience is very less today. Last topic, or shall we? Big yes to continue. Okay, big yes to continue. So you are okay. You want deemed export? Shall I leave this one and consider deemed export? I can really go on export of services, lot many other part, but I need to pause today. Shall I touch base deemed export, because this is another critical issue which is understanding is required. Shall I touch base deemed export? Okay. So last deemed export. Okay, deemed export. Last one, deemed export. But let me tell you, a lot of things I left. I have not discussed today. And sorry to say, Mr. Manjunath is also there today. They could have avoided today's webinar if it is election day today at Karnataka. I was willing and looking for huge participation today. I don't know. Nevertheless, next time always. So let me take the last example. Yes, Mr. Manjunath.
No, I mean, just I was telling, definitely next time physically karenge, sir. I mean, we'll do it physically at Bangalore. So
no, Mr. Manjunath, that's okay and very good, and I would be definitely willing to come to Bangalore. But believe me, I was willing to get good audience today. I was looking for even see, for me, my passion is my audience. For me, my passion, my motivation, my encouragement is my audience. Nevertheless, I understand your position. Nevertheless, last deemed export. Listen very carefully. Deemed export now. What is deemed export? In case of deemed export, export is also coming. You all tell me in a chat box whether export and deemed export are same. Say yes and no. Whether export and deemed export are same. Say yes and no. No. In case of deemed export, goods are not moving out of the country, India. Goods are not going out of the country. Hence, it is not export. Second question, deemed export concept is applicable only for goods or services or both. So write down in a chat box. This deemed export concept is applicable only for goods or for services or both. Please tell me in a chat box. So Priya, again, Priya is in Delhi, so iska Priya को पकड़ के थोड़ा सा सिखाना पड़ेगा. Priya, it is only for goods, not for services. Priya, I'm on a lighter note, so you should not be taking me so seriously. Being teacher, sometime I need to really know. So it is only for goods. No, Priya, for deemed export, no, it is only for goods. It is only for goods. Section 147. Section 147 is important for considering deemed export. There are 4 transactions which is considered for the deemed export. First, supply of goods against advance authorization. Against advance authorization. Supply of goods against EPCG, export promotion capital goods. So supply of capital goods against EPCG. Second. Third, supply to EOU, export oriented unit. And fourth, supply of gold by bank or public sector undertaking, PSU. These 4 transactions are notified transactions to be considered as a deemed export. To understand in a better way, let's say I'm a supplier. Priya, listen, and all of you listen very carefully. I'm a supplier, and you all become export-oriented unit. You all become EOU. Ultimately, you're going to export. Being EOU, you're going to export it. So when I'm supplying goods to you, to EOU, so my supply to EOU is a deemed export. First of all, deemed export. Question 8, and which was there, if Bhimal Jain, who is a normal supplier, supplying to EOU, whether he is going to charge GST, because ultimately EOU, after getting these goods, manufacture and then export. So EOU is ultimately going to export it. So Bhimal Jain supplying to EOU with a GST leviable. This was the question. This was the question. So please answer it. I'm looking for the answer from each one of you. If Bhimal Jain supplying to EOU or advanced authorization holder or EPCG holder, whether Bhimal Jain going to charge GST, yes and no. Yes and no. You can write down whatever answer coming to your mind without hesitation. At least you should try so that you get a clarity. Lakshmi is saying it may be yes or no. Lakshmi, you're saying like Arvind Kejriwal. Our Arvind Kejriwal is like that. So he is always in dilemma, yes and no. Say either yes or say either no. So that's the point I'm looking for. Say yes or no. It depends on who has to go for refund. Okay, Lakshmi, not an issue. I made it lighter. Don't take so personal. As per law, supplier need to charge GST. And he has to apply the full rate. If my product, my goods is chargeable to 18%, I will apply 18%. There is no concessional rate. So if 18% leviable, then 18%, 28% leviable, then 28%. Now, once I've applied this 18% or 28%, question will come. Ultimately, EOU is going to use these goods for manufacturing of goods meant for export. So taxes should not be exported, right? That is the theme we started with. Taxes should not be exported. That is the theme we have started with. Here also, as per the law, either the supplier or the recipient who is EOU, either or. Bhimal Jain, who is a supplier, can go for claiming refund of 18% charge to EOU. That may be one scenario. In such a case, EOU has to give a certificate to the concerned supplier that EOU has not availed ITC and EOU is not going to claim refund of this 18%. So ultimately, it is supplier who is going to file the refund claim for this 18%. That is how the provision. Or it can be claimed refund by EOU also. So in that case, supplier will not claim refund. So if EOU is claiming refund, this is as good as the tax which is charged on a particular supply meant for export become zero rated. Hope I'm clear. Say yes in a chat box that you understood it. Say yes in a chat box that you got it. First you say you got it. I will tell you, Soumya, just allow me. I've seen your point which you have raised. I will tell you. Now what Soumya is asking me, she's saying if EOU takes premises on rent, GST paid on rental can be claimed as a refund only by EOU as it is not a deemed export. Correct, sir? Yes, EOU. Yes, Soumya, no problem. No problem. Rest assured. On export, you can always follow a route of refund of ITC, input tax credit. That is the only point. And they're not permitting you to follow IGST route. IGST route. That is what. Hope this part is clear. So this is what the deemed export and relevant notification 47/2017, 48/2017, and 49/2017. 47, 48, and 49. You may note down somewhere. And there are prescribed condition. When supplier is going to claim the refund, what all condition and document need to be satisfied? When recipient EOU is claiming refund, what condition he need to satisfy? So I'm not going into that detailed part, but as a basic understanding, I've told you what is deemed export. So hope I'm clear. Say yes, then I will touch base one merchant exporting also. Merchant exporter, so that conceptually understand everything. What is merchant export? I will discuss as a last component. All right, yes. So last component of the day. Okay. What is merchant export? And listen very carefully. You become the person who want to export the goods directly out of India. You. So maybe I'm picking up one example so that you can understand everything. That Soumya wanted to export the goods out of India. So Soumya has approached to Bhimal Jain, who is a normal supplier. Now Soumya wanted to procure from Bhimal Jain, and that product is chargeable at 18% GST. 18% GST. So for merchant exporter, what is the meaning of a merchant exporter? You are exporting the goods as such, chattel as a chattel. So you are taking from me and exporting as such. You're not doing any value addition. In deemed export, there was a value addition of manufacturing, either by A authorized holder or EPCG or EOU in case of deemed export. But in merchant export, you are exporting as a chattel, goods as such, no value addition. You're taking from me at 100 rupees and at 120 rupees, you're exporting as such. That is called merchant export. Now for merchant export, the specific advantage is a concessional rate, which is made available. So what is this concessional rate? Instead of 18%, which I am supposed to levy normally, I will levy only 0.1%. 0.1%. So this supplier, Bhimal Jain, when raising invoice to Soumya or Bisal or anyone, Priya, who is a merchant exporter, I'm going to charge 0.1% to you, 0.1%, though it is 18% chargeable. So for you, it is coming at a concessional rate. So there is no blockage of working capital for you. Only condition, you should export within a period of 3 months, within a period of 3 months. That is called merchant exporter transaction. So tell me in a chat box, at least you understood it. What is the transaction? It is clear. Then I will tell you what is the next repercussion. Now, in this transaction, the problem with the supplier, with me, my outward is going at 0.1%, but I may have procured raw material, input services, capital goods at 18%. So credit of 18% in my books of accounts, my outward is 0.1% because of merchant export. There would be accumulation of credit in the hands of Bhimal Jain, normal supplier. So any refund is permissible to Bhimal Jain? Say yes and no. Any refund is permissible to Bhimal Jain? Please say yes and no. Okay, so Ramya, Basant Gopal, okay, is the one who gave the very good answer. It would be given as a refund under inverted duty structure to Bhimal Jain. Under inverted duty structure, because rate of tax on input is higher comparing the rate of tax on my output, 0.1%. So Bhimal Jain is entitled to get refund under inverted duty structure. And when I say inverted duty structure, you don't forget refund only on inputs, not on input service and capital goods. VKC footstay from Supreme Court judgment. This part you should not forget. Yes, Bhimal Jain entitled for the refund only on input. Supreme Court judgment BKC footstep rule 89 sub rule 5 read with section 54 subsection 3 for refund of ITC, unutilized ITC pertaining to inverted duty structure. So am I clear? Please say yes in a chat box that yes, refund is permissible, but only on input. This part was not clear in the answer given by a lot of you. Jainath, you are saying no. Am I have you understood it? If you have not understood it, please tell me what you have not understood it. Okay, Soumya is saying that's not fair on the supplier. Soumya, Jainath, is the big issue. It's a policy decision. Policy by the GST Council, why we are getting into. I'm saying law provision as on date. So Jainath and Soumya, under inverted duty structure, you are entitled only for refund on input, not on input service and capital goods. For input service, there was a drama of BKC footstep, Gujarat High Court judgment versus Madras High Court, and then by Honorable Supreme Court clearly saying that refund only on input, not on input services. So yes, it is not fair, Soumya, but we can't do anything. For law perspective, it is refund of input only. Am I clear? Say yes in a chat box, Jainath and Soumya, both of you. Am I clear? Okay, all right. So this part is again clear. So 0.1% charge to merchant exporter, what he will do? Two questions from merchant exporter perspective. Like Bisal, Priya, Soumya, they are merchant exporter. With 0.1%, what you are going to do? Can you go for refund of ITC for 0.1%? Say yes and no. Can you go for refund of 0.1%? Because then that will keep on accumulating. So refund of ITC, permissible. Can you apply IGST being merchant exporter? Please tell me. Can you apply IGST being merchant exporter? Say yes and no. Can you apply IGST being merchant exporter? Say yes and no. I'm still awaiting. You can't apply. Jainath, Basant, Srinatha, no. How come you're having only 0.1%? How come IGST? No way. And there's a restriction also. Kiran. So, all right. So, Kiran has given right answer. All right. So, no IGST in the hands of merchant exporter, but refund of ITC is permissible. So, having said that, I've tried to explain export, try to explain what is deemed export, try to explain what is merchant exporting, but lot many things, SEZ, authorized operation, and lot many other transaction, which I could not do today because of, I really wanted to have good audience today. Did not get that audience, but next time, definitely yes. So maybe I can pause here. Maybe at the close end, can I put a request, because the audience is very less today. We have done 1 hour 45 minutes, almost 1 hour 45 minutes. So let me take some of your queries and resolve. Are you all willing to open your video and ask your query? If you are willing, then I will request the the host to open a video for each one of you, so that we can have little 15 minutes question answer session, so that we can interact and we can go back and say today was the best virtual webinar by Bangalore branch. I do not know whether I did really best or not, but I tried my best. Compliment to each one of you. But you must go back and say to all your colleagues, friends, today was the best one for the virtual session. So yes, that is the real appreciation and memento for me. Can I put a request to IT guy, ICI Bangalore? Is it possible if we can open the video option for all the participants?
Nitin, is it possible?
Mr. Nitin, is it oh, sorry.
Nitin, are you there? Yeah. Will it be possible to enable?
It is a webinar. It is by default it is disabled with the video provision for attendees, since it is a webinar.
Okay, not an issue, Nitinji. Thank you very much. Let me answer then some of the queries which is being posted in a chat box. Soumya, your question: supply by DTA to SEZ unit, requirement of endorsement is there in GST Act or SEZ Act? Under SEZ Act, but rules is saying so. Soumya, that is my answer. So hope clear. Soumya, say yes. Because supply by DTA to SEZ, because authorized operation, that's what the point importantly they want to look at. Authorized operation I did not discuss today, but I could have discussed because of time pause. I did not. Authorized operation term which is there under section 16 subsection 1 clause B, it is yet to be notified, but by way of rule they are saying it should be endorsed. To that extent legal dispute lies today. Anyone else want to ask any question? So if not, can I ask question to India? Can I ask question then to all the participants, and then we can sum up today? Anyone willing to ask any query? I'm open for that. I told you that I will definitely do, and will try to answer each one of you. Okay. Okay. If not, my submission to each one of you. I tried my best. I thought I'm interacting with my so close, professionals, colleagues today. Though it was a webinar, but I tried. Anyone can ask any question. I will try my best. I will try my best. If we are having post a query, Priya, Soumya again asking if we take incorrect ITC and we have enough credit. Balance in credit ledger, is interest payable until reversal need not required. If not utilized, Soumya, no interest with retrospective date July 1, 2017. So Priya, if you want to ask query, you can definitely ask. Jainath is saying, great presentation, Jainath. Without you, it would not have been possible. It would not have been possible. Soumya, why circular? Go back to section 50, subsection 3, clearly saying. So Srinatha is saying, can I have your phone number, sir? Okay, take down my phone number, each one of you, because you all are learned. That's the reason I'm giving my mobile number. But my only humble submission, do not expect me to reply queries, etc., because highly occupied. But whenever I get time, I will definitely respond back. Believe me, I will try my best. Take down my number, 98 106 04 563. 98 106 04 563. So I given my number to each one of you. So let's enjoy. So shall we sum up today with the permission of all audience? Basant is asking, without issuing ASMT 10, whether DRC 0 can be issued. They are issuing, Basant. It need not be necessary that ASMT 10 is required. They can always issue DRC 01A. Okay. So Pradeep is appreciating, webinar is good. I have learned a lot of new things today. Thanks a lot for that, sir. Pradeep, even I enjoyed today, because having small audience, how to cater to small audience, even I learned today. So having a very close audience, I'm trying. Priya, that judgment of, Supreme Court, which is talking about supply of manpower, is not perimeteria in all the cases. You have to really see in what cases it is applicable. Even that, Northern India, the judgment of Supreme Court, which we are referring, Priya, we have to differentiate. Even I've given opinion at several occasions that it cannot be applied as such in toto. If there is employer-employee situation is being satisfied, then I'm defending and contending that this is Schedule 3 transaction. How come it is chargeable to GST? And GST should not be levied. That would be my answer, Priya. Short but brief answer to you. So Basant, thank you very much. Jainath, DRC 03 be used to set off refund claim of TRAN 1. If you want to set off refund claim of TRAN 1, I did not understand Jayant properly. So might be I'm not answering this part. Facts is not clear to me. But let's sum up today and wish each one of you a great success in your career. Be happy. God bless all of us together. And be in touch with me on any social media platform, and pass on your love, affection, best wishes. Always look for. And with this, and thanking once again to Madam Debya, Chairperson, Mr. Manjunath, Secretary, and all Managing Committee member of Bangalore branch for giving me this opportunity on this webinar on export and deemed export. With this, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. I mean, I think all the questions in Q&A and even in chat have been already answered. If no further questions, then we can go for a vote of thanks. I don't think so there are any. Everything has been already answered. Okay. That was the most interacting session I have handled and even attended. Hats off to you, sir. Just like that, Guinness World of Record wouldn't have been created. And I would like to place it on record. The participants who were interacting with the Bhimal Jain sir for the whole session were lucky enough. And that kind of interaction from the participants comes out only when the speaker is making concepts clearer, and only by teaching that happens. I mean, that comes by experience, and then definitely almost 2.4 decades, 24 years of experience. And as there was no PPT as such for the presentation, but still the participants were very actively interacting. Wow. Thank you so much, sir. A round of applause is definitely required for that session, sir. Hoping for a physical session with your good self in Bangalore branch in future. On behalf of participants present here and the chairperson and all the managing committee members of Bangalore branch of SIRCF ICI, I thank the speaker for the day, CA Bhimal Jain sir, for his wonderful session with clear explanation on the concept first, and then garnish them with simplest examples for each concept, made it the lively session ever seen. Thank you very much, sir, for your session. Even in your busy schedule, you have deliberated on the subject for all of us. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
I thank all the participants who have made it for today and supported Bangalore branch for conducting this session, and with a request for support from you all for future programs of Bangalore branch also. I once again thank you one and all. Thank you IT team of Bangalore branch in arranging this virtual session, and that with that I CA Manjunath M. Hallur, Secretary of Bangalore branch, sign off for the day. Thank you one and all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.